This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Good morning, it's Friday, April 11, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma. On the news this morning. Court begins hearing on River Sole Administrator's case. River State government reacts to civil service recruitment rumor. River State named among high flood risk states. Health workers in River State threaten strike. On the foreign scene, US President Donald Trump names his envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism. Details of these and more after this break. Back, I'm Ife Chukwumoyela with the news. Now, President Bola Tinubu and the Attorney General of the Federation were both absent as the Federal High Court in Abuja opened hearing on the River State Sole Administrator case on Thursday. The suit was filed by Abuja-based lawyer John Mary Jidobi. He's asking the court to declare the appointment of retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ekwe-Ibas as sole administrator of River State illegal. According to him, all decisions made by Ibas in that role should be void and have no legal effect. He's also seeking an order to stop the president or anyone acting on his behalf from interfering with the tenure of any state governor or deputy, including those in Rivers. When the case came up, his lawyer, Chimezie Enuka, said all the defendants had been served court papers except the attorney generals of Zamfara and Bauchi State. With that, all lawyers present agreed to a new date. Justice James Omotosho adjourned the matter to June 11. He also ordered that fresh hearing notices be sent to all the defendants. Meanwhile, the national chairman of the Rivers Grassroots Network, Dr. Kingsley Chioma Nwayawu, is praising the River State Sole Administrator for appointing sole administrators across all 23 local government areas. Speaking at a media briefing in Port Harcourt, Chioma Nwayawu called it a noble and strategic move to promote peace in the local councils. He commended Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas for his dedication to serving the people and ensuring peace and development in the state.
We commend the River State Sole Administrator for the appointment of sole administrators across the 23 local government areas. This demonstrates a clear commitment to serving Rivers people and driving development in the state. We urge our Rivers people to rely behind the sole administrator's vision, which aims to advance the state's economic growth and sustainability. By working together, we can ensure the success of the sole administrator in promoting a brighter future for Rivers State.
He also advised the newly appointed local government sole administrators to carry out their duties with diligence. He went on to congratulate the new chairman and members of the River State Independent Electoral Commission. He urged them to ensure credible elections across the local government areas.
We congratulate the newly appointed 23 local government area sole administrators and charge them to diligently serve and uphold the trust placed in them. We also extend our congratulations to the newly constituted chairman and members of the River State Independent Electoral Commission, RISEC, and encouraged them to prioritize conducting credible elections in the local government areas.
But a group, the All Unity Forum, strongly condemns the recent appointment by the River State Sole Administrator to oversee the affairs of the 23 local government areas. In a statement by the forum's President General, Dr. Chiko Didike, and Secretary General, Darlington Wabara, the group described the move as undemocratic and unconstitutional. They argue that the declaration of a state of emergency is unwarranted and undermines both the rule of law and democratic principles. The forum insists that the appointed coordinators lack electoral legitimacy and therefore cannot effectively represent the interests of the people. They also called on the sole administrator to reverse the decision and instead focus on restoring peace, order, and democratic governance in River State. In the same vein, a concerned stakeholder in River State, Mr. Chisi Enyi, is speaking out against the recent appointment made by the state's sole administrator, Ibokete Ibas. At a media briefing in Port Harcourt, Mr. Enyi criticized the appointment of local government area administrators and heads of agencies, saying it went against advice from key stakeholders in the state. He alleged that those appointed are loyalists of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and claims the process was not transparent or properly followed.
And if the state administrator will come to appoint those working with the Nyesom Wike, we then wonder the peace they said he is coming to make. The president appointed the state administrator to make peace in Rivers State, and as we speak, he has come to appoint those who are supporters of Nyesom Wike, particularly in my local government, which is my local government. The state administrator there, as has been appointed by the state administrator here, is former head of local government. He is a known supporter of President Nyesom Wike. The one of Obi Akpon is a relative to Nyesom Wike.
Mr. Enyi also said it's unfortunate that the sole administrator's actions are straying from the goal of maintaining peace in the state. He warned that such decisions could worsen the political crisis in River State. Enyi is calling on President Bola Tinubu to intervene and rein in the sole administrator.
So it is very unfortunate that the state administrator came to Rivers State only to cause more problems instead of to solve problems and to make peace as was directed by the president. Since his assumption in the office till today, he has not even called the political gladiators to look into making peace. Instead, he has resorted into coming to appoint people into offices that are suspicious. For Rivers State, we are law-abiding. We don't have any option. The only option we have is to continue to be law-abiding. But he must know that, and having risen to the peak of his career, he shouldn't come now to undermine the legacies he has already kept.
Well, in another development, the River State government says reports of a civil service recruitment are false. A message circulating online claims that 10,000 graduate and non-graduate will be recruited into the civil service from Sunday, April 13. It also falsely claims that the recruitment was approved by the administrator of the state, Vice Admiral retired Ibokete Ibas. The fake notice was said to be signed by the secretary to the state government, Professor Ibibia Lucky Warika. But in a statement released Thursday, acting head of civil service, Dr. Eyingi Brown, urged the public to disregard the announcement. She said no such approval has been given and described the information as fake. Dr. Brown also said official updates will come directly from the River State Civil Service Commission when due. Elsewhere, primary healthcare services in River State are struggling under the current emergency rule. Speaking on Nigeria Info FM, the national president of the Primary Healthcare Workers Association, Daniel Atiemie, says medical services have been hit hard.
State of emergency did not contemplate some of the things that may be happening, such as funding of the system to function very well. So the system is suffering as a result of the state of emergency. The account of the Primary Healthcare Management Board was consequently frozen. So when it comes to funding, there is no way those immunization programs, family planning, child nutrition can be funded again.
Now, he said diagnostic supplies have stopped due to lack of funds, and programs like immunization and family planning are now stalled. He also blamed local government heads for not implementing the new salary structure for primary health workers.
The primary healthcare workers, before the suspended governor left, he has already approved minimum wage for primary healthcare workers of Rivers State. And then specifically, the consolidated health workers salary structure was transmitted to the various local government for implementation. But as the emergency rule came, some of the head of local government have used that as an opportunity, and they refused to implement the consolidated salary structure that is CONHES for primary healthcare workers.
Atemi warned that if proper salaries aren't paid soon, healthcare workers may withdraw their services.
Our call is that the sole administrator should intervene in these issues I've mentioned. In fact, the most important is that he should come in, make sure there are funds for program to run in primary healthcare system, and then call these HLGs to order. Let them do the right thing by paying us our rightful salary. If not, we will be compelled or forced by the behaviors of these unwilling local government administrators to withdraw our services.
Coming up next, Rivers State named among high flood risk state. Stay with us. A Rivers State High Court has ordered all parties to stop making public comment on the 2 billion naira defamation suit filed by Edison Ehie, the Chief of Staff to suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Recall that Ehie sued former Head of Service Dr. George Nweke and Channels Television, accusing them of defamation. The case stems from a broadcast on March 29 where Nweke allegedly made false and damaging claims about Ehie. Ehie wants the court to award him 2 billion naira in damages. He also wants the defendants to retract the statement, apologize publicly, and air the apology on Channels and another TV station. Now, he's also asking for the apology to be published in 2 national newspapers. Justice Stephen Jumbo granted Ehie's request for a restraining order. He warned all parties to refrain from further public comment while the case continues. Moving on now, host communities of OML 25 in Kola Kingdom, Akokotoro local government area of Rivers State, are demanding a binding agreement with the new operator before oil production resumes in the area. The communities, Kola, Belema, Ofoinama, and Ngeje, spoke at the end of a major stakeholders meeting with the new operator in the eastern Niger Delta. Elder statesman Anab Saraiwe said the demand stems from the failure to implement a 2019 agreement involving Shell, the federal government, NNPC, and Belema Oil. He said his people have been neglected, deprived, and have faced hardship.
We ask religions, will they employ our people? Will they be able to develop our area? Will they do the remediation activities? For OML 25 to open, we must come back to table, discuss the details, what we agreed with the government and Shell, and based on those agreements we had, we will be able to reopen OML 25. If that is not done, OML 25 will still remain as it is until the Nigerians come to us, discuss with us, and give us assurance. Particularly, our son, Belema Oil, must manage, maintain, and operate the OML 25 for them, as agreed between NNPC, Shell, and the community.
Also speaking, President of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Sokubo Saraiwe Sokubo, said youth unemployment must be addressed. He said jobs for young people will help ensure uninterrupted oil production.
Our youth from this extraction has been deprived for over 67 years. No employment. For beginning of Shell operating in Kola, they have never employed one person in Kola community till today before they left. And today, the same 14 foundation have started. They're engaging us with people that Shell have clearly paid off, and they are using those people to come and engage us. You will not see where the crack has started. The whole method of Shell is what they will inject into this new Renaissance. But I hope Renaissance, as a Nigerian company, should know what to do to the Kola community.
And now, a group known as the Ogoni Liberation Initiative has given the Environment Minister, Balarabe Abbas, a 7-day ultimatum to address alleged mismanagement of the Ogoni Cleanup Fund. President of the group, Dr. Douglas Fabeke, made this known during a meeting with activists and international NGOs in Abuja. He said they submitted a protest letter to the Ministry of Environment outlining how $366 million was allegedly mismanaged by HyPrep. The letter also includes claims of contracts awarded to unqualified companies. Dr. Fabeke says HyPrep has ignored multiple letters and remained silent on the allegations. He claims the cleanup project has so far benefited only politicians and foreigners and not the Ogoni people. Fabeke warned that if the minister fails to act within the 7 days, the people of Ogoni would take drastic steps. In other news, Rivers, Bayelsa, Abia, and Imo are among states listed as high flood risk areas for 2025. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency gave the warning during the official presentation of the 2025 Annual Flood Outlook in Abuja. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsev, said the forecast is to raise public awareness and boost readiness, especially in vulnerable communities. According to him, the outlook is divided into 3 parts: a general flood forecast, a communication plan for early warnings, and a mitigation strategy to limit damage. He urged communities in high-risk zones to stay alert and take the warning seriously to reduce the impact of expected floods.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump has named Yehuda Kaplan to be his envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism. Writing on his alt-tech social media platform known as Truth Social, President Trump said Yehuda is a successful businessman and a staunch advocate for the Jewish faith and the rights of his people to live and worship free from persecution. He said, with anti-Semitism dangerously on the rise, Yehuda will be the strongest representative for Americans and Jews across the globe and promote peace.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Court has started hearing on the Rivers Sole Administrator case. The Rivers State government has denied the civil service recruitment rumor. Rivers State has been named among high flood risk state. Health workers in Rivers State are threatening strike over disrupted service since emergency rule. On the foreign scene, you heard U.S. President Donald Trump had named his envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism. The news was edited by Choma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.